We got 2 videos here. Why you should play Arknights in 2024, and what's the point of playing Arknights anymore? So we got a real duality of man situation going on right here. So let's see, because I have had a couple comments in the past telling me that I would like Arknights because I like tower defense, and Arknights is apparently tower defense. I've also heard people like the bald man, who should not be named, say that Arknights is terrible and the new Arknights Enfield that's coming out is going to be terrible, but we are not a follower. We are not sheep here. We are our own man, and we will make up our own decisions now. We are going to make our own decisions by listening to somebody else tell us what we should do.
Unprecedented experience and memories for everyone who has played, but I also hope it can convey more content like the imagination of happiness, the thinking of pain, the enjoyment of art, the exploration of culture, and the expressions of people's hearts, characters, and the world's own different characteristics.
That sounds like a bunch of commie gobbledygook, if you ask me.
So why should you play Arknights? Should you play it for its varied gameplay, its rich lore, its character designs, or maybe just for its music? Let's get the basic premise out the way first.
I'm getting the feeling that this is not a very fan service heavy game.
First, Arknights is a tower defense gacha game. However, I feel that tower defense is selling the game very short while not being wrong. This game can go from baby's first tower defense to a Mega Mind RTS game that can give you carpal
Oh my
tunnel if you
god.
wanted to.
Is this Plans for Zombies?
There are 4 a year, but for me the limiteds are a problem due to the spark amount. To get old limiteds, or if you're unlucky, the feature limited character of the event, you need to pull 300 times just to be able to.
Why are the characters so covered up? Like, how is this game making any money? Also, 6-star characters? What the hell?
Most new players will never have legacy limiteds, so your only options to get them are 1. Save for 6 months if you're free to play, 2. Spend your life savings, or 3. Get very lucky. So, that sucks.
All right, one of those options sounds way worse than all the other 2.
Talking about things that aren't the greatest in this game, an issue I don't see talked about very much either is the new player experience. Because it is brutal, lots of veteran players I feel forget the lack of material.
Oh my god, what is it? Like, this is like the second game that I've seen in the last 2 days that reminds me of like really cool JRPGs on the 3DS.
But the beginning 50 levels are brutal resource-wise, and maybe even past that. But those 2 points are the real bumps.
I always hear Asmongold and Tectone talk about you're a loser if you play these games free to play, and their reasoning is somebody else can pay $100 and be done with it, and then you have to play like 2 weeks to get to where somebody would spend $100 is already. And my point is, if you're playing a gacha game free to play, you got a lot of time on your hands, and you don't mind spending that time free to play. I played Honkai Star Rail free to play for like a month straight before I played Honkai Star Rail for a month without even pulling. If you have nothing else to do and you have disposable income, then why not spend money on it? Why not play free to play? There is nothing wrong with playing these games free to play. There is nothing wrong with spending your money on these games, unless you're spending money that you don't have. Because if you want to support the game, go ahead and spend money on it. If it's not worth spending the money on it, then don't spend the money on it. Definitely don't let internet dads tell you how you should live your life. Is there anything worse than an internet dad?
It's in a road for newer players, gameplay-wise. The character designs in this game are pretty awesome. The community does not call it Drip Nights for nothing. Outfits in the game are literally sold to you in-universe as clothing fashion brands, which is a pretty nice.
Again, the world ends with you. Why are all these games reminding me of the world ends with you?
Touch. Even they don't make too much sense when some skins depict a past or future version of them, but they're still cool nonetheless. The employment.
I should replay. There are so many games I want to replay, dude. There's too many games out there.
There are many different artists in the game. Allows the characters to be distinct from each other while still falling under the design concept of art.
I'm the kind of person where at the exact same time, I want to replay Dragon Age Origins, The World Ends With You, and Fear, First Encounter Assault Recon. The original game, the 2 expansion packs, and Fear 2. Like, play them all in a row. All right? And watch Invader Zim, rewatch Invader Zim, all at the same time. That's the kind of person that I am.
For those of you that are story-first gamers, then Arknights has you covered. Arknights lore does an exceptional job of creating a world that feels real and lived in. We have Poland.
Well, it should. I'm pretty sure this game is 7 years old now. I'm afraid that if I start playing it, it's gonna go end of service. Because that's my luck, all right? I'm getting shafted in Nikkei, right? and I'm trying to get caught up in Snowbreak. I have no currency to pull the new Katya that's coming out. I'm gonna start playing this game, and then it's gonna go end of service.
While many of the stories in AK have very interesting settings and ideas, the light novel presentation with very wordy translation turns many off reading them.
I'm the kind of player, there's story first players, and there are give me a skip button players, and I am a give me a skip button player. I do not care about story. If I care about story, I will go online and I will go online and I will watch lore videos. I will read wikias. I will do that if I want the story. But I play games to play games, and that's what I think. Oh wait, the video's not done yet.
Entirely. For those of you that will still plunge into the lore of the game and experience it firsthand, you're in for a real treat. For the rest of us illiterate folk, well, there are wikis and YouTube for a reason, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
Hypergriff is able to reinvest into the action material for the fans. The music for all the 6 stars, the extra songs that go with the time of seasons, the concerts, and the big conventions that while us in the West don't ever get to experience in person, still feels like our attention, enjoyment, and money goes towards something. There's a sense that HG wants to give back as much as they can in the form of music, trailers, and extra media content. Arknights sells the world as culture, and
you know, this might be an incendiary opinion, but I feel like gacha game companies are way more, like, even though gacha is predatory and it is psychologically manipulative, I do feel, and this is probably part of the psychological manipulation, but I feel like gacha game companies are way better at conveying their love for the player, and you feel like at least, even though you're being manipulated, you feel like your money is going to good things. Like, they have these extravagant live streams, they have the cosplayers, you know, and most of these games, it seems like most of them, except for Genshin, they do put the money back into the game. And Hoyoverse gets a lot of crap, but when it comes to Hoyo, when it comes to ZZZ and Star Rail, it does seem like they are putting their money back into the game. And that's what you don't really see Western companies doing that. They pump out a game, no one buys it, then they sell the studio or shut the studio down, and then they just move on to the next pump and dump. And it's just like, so, and I've heard that like people are, this is the sentiment now, that the West is just money laundering and the East is video games that just make a lot of money. Like, that just seems to be, like, that's, you go to the West if you want to make a game that's really just for money laundering in the back so that the CEOs can buy 600 more cars and more yachts. And then the East is, we make really good games. So it's pretty pathetic that the West has dropped the ball so hard
we as the fans
when it comes to games, and basically everything else too. China will rule the world one day.
So, should you play Arknights? I certainly think so, just for the music alone. That music even comes with a game. That is pretty...
Yeah, that's not good. You should not play a video game for the music. That doesn't make any sense. So, here, what's the point of playing Arknights anymore?
With all these new gachas coming out and Genshin still retaining their awful fan base, I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks about Arknights' future. Why the hell are we still playing this anime tower defense game? I got plenty of reasons why we shouldn't be playing this game anymore. In fact, let's go down the list. Smashing your head against the wall in CC events. Overspending on PNGs, and then they are hardly ever used because of the current meta. Keeping up with a story that barely makes sense half the time. Weird past drama that haunts the community still.
See? Oh no, that's why he's Voldemort now. Arknights took his hair.
We have all the operators in recruitment, so it's just more fluff at this point. Your friends are leaving. If you have friends. Yeah, that's a whole lot of garbage that we gotta deal with, so why are we still playing this game? What keeps you from leaving? The waifus. This game has soul. It's not about the tedious.
It doesn't look like the game has waifus.
Daily tasks or the $3.99 in Annihilation. We stay because the developers care about their game. You can feel it as you play. The story may be complicated and at times unnecessarily confusing, but they're building an entire world behind the scenes for us. This game has been worth it.
Oh, we found it. We found the fan service. This is why I like gacha games, because you can look up videos and try to figure out like if you should or shouldn't play the game. But the thing is, the game's free. You can just install it yourself. And that's what we're gonna do next time on ClayMantics.